Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Let's continue our quest in the realm of shadow. And if y'all recall, last time we left off, we managed to beat the Dancing Lion, I believe it was called. Obtain the remembrance of the Dancing Lion hewn into the Skadu tree. When the Impaler's army assailed the tower, the ritual of the lion dance was turned toward martial ends, its divinity, its fury, its light-footed beauty. With that said, we're just gonna go ahead and warp out of there real quick. Sorry, I kind of need to go track something down. Because one of the first things we're going to do today, well, one of the main goals for today is taking out that one boss that killed us several times yesterday, who I then left alone. Because I didn't feel like I was figuring it out, and I didn't want to spend ages stuck on a single boss. And I realized after the fact that there are a couple of things that I could use to make that boss fight a little bit easier. One of them is over here. If we can just find the cave. That's not it. Hello, Mr. Dragon. Ah. It's down there. I know it's over this way because of the bear. Now we are going to try and be careful because we have 120,000 runes and I don't really feel like losing those. With that in mind, one of the first things we're going to do is get into a fight with a rune bear. Oh. Really thought I had timed that right. Okay, that was rude. I was trying to take a sip of my juice, thank you very much. So one thing to be aware of is that it's pretty much never a good idea to get into a fight with a rune bear. But I want stuff from this cave, and I've actually fought a couple of rune bears with this build, and it tends to go decently. Although I don't really know how I managed to not have a guard counter there. So the plan for the moment is just to tail behind it while it goes past our runes. Once we've got those, There. Fun fact, easiest way to deal with rune bears is by putting them to sleep. Other fun fact, I don't actually know if we needed to get past him to get what we wanted, but there's another talisman somewhere in here. That I want to grab. A bull goat's talisman. Okay, so that is not the one that we were going for, but I did want it, so it's nice to have it. Anyway, we are going to descend into the depths of this cave and fight a quick boss. And apparently some dogs, too. Would you actually hit me, please? Thank you. I'm just trying to guard counter here. Jeez. Things just seem to be not hitting my shield. And like half the reason I have the shield is to get things to hit it so that I can get the guard counter boost. So that's the entirety of what my build is statted for. Okay, so the bosses are down there. It's 2 of them, but they shouldn't be any trouble because we're massively over-leveled for this fight. Okay. And I believe they're bosses that we can probably just flip. So we're saying bosses here, but let's put some air quotes around that. Dang, 65,000 runes, though. If I had known they were going to give that many, I would have bothered with the golden scarab. So yeah, that's one thing that I wanted. We don't have enough runes to level up, surely. Less than 10,000 off. I guess we'll just pop a rune. Golden remnants of grace bestowed upon those who fell in the realm of shadow. Soldiers who joined the crusade were rewarded with grace aplenty. The Skadu tree is the shadow of the Erd tree. No wonder grace shines ever so brilliantly. Broken and faded, threatening to dissipate entirely. Anyway. Let's sneak in a cheeky little level up there. And then... oh, what else did I want to grab? Welcome to the stream, Brittle. Where is Selin? I can't remember what I've done with her quest line in this run. Few different things that I might grab. Okay, we've got Waypoint Ruin Cellar there. Okay, she's in Ray Lucaria right now. Hey, Selin.
Would you like it?
Oh, I already bought Scholar's Shield. Alright then. Pay no mind to the giant skeleton that's about to pop out of the ground. It's not really a threat, and it's not worth the trouble to kill it. I'm not sure if Brother Corin will be here. He is. Nice. That is what I was hoping for.
Master, I'm right here. Your finger. Let me dock Master. Where did... Master, I'm right here. Your finger. Let me dock Master. Where did...
Okay, if we reload, he will probably be dead. If not, we can just kill him. His quest is over. Ah, there's the bell bearing, his robe, and we got a flail. All very exciting except the flail, because I don't have the dex to use that, and I won't have the dex to use that. So basically what I realized... well, first of all, I realized that I kind of want the fire resist talisman. Ah, dang it. It takes 13,000 runes. One sec. I may not have the Albinaric Slayer 9000, but I've got the Albinaric Slayer 2001, which is still pretty good. Okay, well, that was a fast 30,000 runes. Y'all can see why this is such a popular place for rune farming. Because in a matter of seconds, you can get tens of thousands of runes. And there are skills that just completely annihilate all of them in one move. It's so insanely fast. I don't know if we'll actually wind up investing in the faith to use that. But, ah well, we have the option now. Okay. We got that. Yeah, we should go and get that. I'm doing some cleanup, grabbing a few things that might come in handy, and also giving people some time to join if they are planning to. No, they heard about... I gotta admit, I would really love to have that shield that they use, but it's unobtainable in-game, which is so sad. I just want a shield with grass growing on it. Is that too much to ask? Welcome to the stream, Rafkin. Okay. I grabbed all of the items I was planning to. Oh, except for one. We're about to do a little bit of a mad dash through Rhea Lucaria. So I want to grab one more thing. Yes, while we're here, we'll go ahead and switch back to the staff. We are playing as the manager after all. So yeah, there's this whole second half of this dungeon that you never actually have to go to, but there are a bunch of useful items down there. Including at least one item that is required for a quest. So it tends to be worth going down, grabbing a couple of the things. Of course, you have to deal with the marionettes and avionettes and sorcerers all trying to kill you. Which, you know, isn't really a good time, but... that imbued sword key. There's this thing. And there's what's down this hallway. Goodbye. Ooh, high page hood and perfumer bolts. I don't know why I get such insane luck on this file with drops, but both of those are fairly rare. Hey there. Bye there. We'll kick down this ladder, because who knows if I'll ever feel like coming back up here. And for good measure, we will kill a very sparkly crab. Alright, well, that's everything that I was trying to get. Back to the realm of shadow. I actually think we are going to head... Yeah, first we're going to head there and point ourselves down that path. I did look some stuff up. I didn't look up anything to do with the spoilers or the bosses or any of that. It's just I wanted to be sure that I didn't just accidentally pass the... I didn't want to accidentally bypass any of the really massive weapons that are what I'm looking for here. So I looked through the colossal weapons and the colossal swords, and what in the world are those guys? Oh my. Well, if he's not going to approach... chunky lads, aren't they? Anyway. Yeah, wow. I'm guessing over in that direction is where I want to go, so I looked through the colossal weapons and the colossal swords because I wanted an idea of where the weapons that I would want to use are. So the fact of the matter is, I really didn't feel like using that one great hammer that I found. It's not much heavier than a great sword, and that's just not big enough bonk material, you know? I'm here for the really, really big bonk. And so I figured, let's track down what we came here for. Unfortunately, there are no colossal weapons introduced in the DLC with purely physical requirements. So the best I could do was find ones with minimal arcane and faith requirements. I probably should have been listening to what he was saying. Hang on. By grace, if I ever see another rock, I shall find it. Of this I have no doubt. Welcome, B. Anyway. We've got a mini dungeon. Ooh, I remember seeing images of this place. Hit them where they're weakest. Oh my gosh. You know, for once I'm going to give that a good rating. So very obviously here, the strat was to backstab those guys, because they've got one weak point and everywhere else they probably take very little damage. Anyway, the only reason I applauded that message was because it was so relevant to the scenario. Normally I wouldn't, but come on. Gas stone. I really do appreciate that the majority of the items in this DLC seem to be upgrade materials. Like, they know that you're going to want to pick up new weapons. And they're providing an abundance of upgrade materials for those weapons, which is just really nice. Because I know that a big concern among players prepping for the DLC is whether they would have enough materials to upgrade the stuff they found in there. Especially since one of the biggest issues in Elden Ring... Ooh, Greater Potentate's Cookbook 13. One of the bigger issues in Elden Ring's base game is the fact that there is a shortage of smithing stone 7s, which is a weird thing to focus on, but I think there are only like 20 smithing stone 7s in the entire game without having to farm enemies or buy them from a vendor once you've gotten the smithing stone bell bearing. And that includes ones that you can buy normally in the game, which is kinda nuts. We'll take the upper path. Got no idea which one leads to the end of the dungeon, so we'll just have to do some explorationing. Oh, hey, one of those dudes is over there. Okay, so this feels like a way to progress through the dungeon. Also, yeah, it was this thing that was showcased in a couple of the trailers. This is apparently a thing to transport lava, presumably to be used in battle. That said, I don't see a ladder, which means if I go down there, I'm not going to be able to climb back up to this level that easily, so I'm going to go that other way that I saw before going along that. Anyway. Yeah, there is such an insane shortage of smithing stone 7s in the base game that it's honestly mind-blowing. Oh, hey, I got a heal from having a message appraised. Oh. Well, that was vaguely pointless, to be honest. if these guys can drop their hammers. Like, it's not what I'm going for, but it is a cool looking little stick. Smith Script Dagger. Throwing Blade. That's right, they introduced these. Well, that's snazzy. I'm not going to use it because it requires more than 10 decks, but still, it is interesting. And obviously, the way forward is to go up here. Yeah, so I think it was literally this shot. Maybe even a shot that was kind of zoomed out. I don't think you understand. That's not exactly a scary scenario for me. I'm packing a shield for a reason. Alright, so that must be the way forward. And yeah, as you can see, they're piping up lava. I imagine examining that altar will take me to the boss of this mini dungeon. And there is the anvil hammer. Wait. Was there not a boss here? Anyway, that's one of the two items that I found that seemed to suit our purposes. An entire mini-dungeon just to be handed an item and then leave. Well, it's a colossal weapon. I realize I don't have the faith to wield it now, but I do want to see what it looks like. So yeah, not as long as the Watchdog's staff, or even the Ruin's Greatsword, I don't think. But oh, welcome to the stream, Steve. So, for example, if I went ahead and tacked on the Faith Knot Crystal tier, then I can meet the stats for this thing. Which doesn't do much, but it does give me the chance to see its weapon art, which is pretty snazzy. Oh. Slam the red-hot anvil into the ground, sending up countless spears. Okay, so there's no follow-up or anything. It is a cool dungeon, but I'm really surprised that there was no boss. Like, that's such a weird choice. One of the treasures of the ruined forges, a tremendous hammer that incorporates as its head the red-hot anvil of the forge. It's said that the anvil's shape is inspired by that of an altar, and that long ago it was indeed used as such in rite and ritual. Anyway, it's pretty cool. We'll take a second and go upgrade it, because why not? I have just absolutely tons of somber smithing stones. Yeah, so like I said, I did some prep before the DLC, and part of that was getting a whole lot of upgrade materials. Now, I won't fully upgrade this. I'll take it to +9 and see if... I'll take it to +9. I'll probably try it out at some point, see if I like it. In fact, you know what? I will do some exploration with it equipped. This does mean that my exploration will be limited in certain ways because... I wonder if I can get down there. Ooh, and that looks like something. Yeah, so we're just going to do some exploring before we try and face that one boss. So is there not a hitbox on the wind-up? Ooh, it's a backhand blade, so that's a new category of weapon in the DLC, if I understand correctly. I imagine it's just a blade that's turned to the backhand. When you're using it. Sacred Tower painting. Wonder if that's somewhere on the climb up the tower. So if so, we could unlock that. Jeez, lots of these little memorials or whatever they are. Okay, it does have a collision on the front. It's just that the thing is very consistently shorter than I expect it to be. I think that's the dungeon that we were just in, and it does not look as though there's a way down this, at least not from up here. Which is what I was curious about, which means our next place that I want to check out is probably up here. Oh, welcome to the stream on me. DLC goes alright. We've cleared one Remembrance boss. That was at the end of last stream, and we're testing out this new big bonk weapon. I do like the idea, although I'm not huge on investing 10 faith just to use it. What in the world is that? We'll stop at the site of grace, and then obviously I have to go and probably die in that glowing place over there. The Dancing Lion. That was the first one we managed. We did come across another main boss in a castle off to the east, whose name I've kind of already forgotten, but we did not manage to beat her. Larval tier. Why does that look different from the larval tiers in the base game? Oh, no wonder that wasn't working. I forgot, I don't actually... Really? Revered Spirit Ash. I've gotten so many of those, and I'm not currently planning to use any ashes because I haven't found any new ones in the DLC yet. And I don't know that I want to use any from the base game. This file is on a first playthrough, so not NG+. I prepped this character specifically for the DLC. We are on the quest for maximum bonk. Abandoned ailing village. I mean, it looks like there's definitely something at the far end. What's this guy up to? From tip to toe it hurts. Help me, I must ask, am I human still? So I guess these guys are undergoing some sort of metamorphosis? I don't know, maybe it's related to the primordial crucible in some way. I love how I can use Torrent in there, but not anywhere in Lanedell. You want to ride your dog inside of a house? By all means. You want to ride your dog inside the capital city? What are you, crazy? No, this could not be necessary item. There is nothing here. Yeah, I could have, So, I should explain part of my logic. I could have played through this on my base file, but one, I wanted to do a big bonk build, and my character is very much statted against doing so, since I started as the prisoner class, and even if I rebirthed, I would be starting at a disadvantage when it comes to strength. On top of that, I was originally hoping that there would be new endings introduced as to the DLC. Now, apparently FromSoft has stated that that wasn't going to be the case, or at least that's what I've heard, but I'll be honest, until I've played through it, I'm kind of holding out hope anyway. Also, there's a dragon over there, so we'll probably go and fight that soon. So yeah, I'm kind of holding out hope that whoever told me that was misinformed, or that FromSoft lied, or something like that. We'll see. Got the Gravebird armor, nice. And my original file obviously already has an ending. I didn't really want to do it from New Game Plus. New Game Plus doesn't really excite me all that much. I'd rather just do individual playthroughs than grind out one file to its extremes. Wait a sec. I already cleared everything up here. Kind of surprised that I'm not seeing a site of Grace anywhere right over there. Ooh, but there's a cave. Surely there's a Grace inside the cave. You're doing it on NG+7. Enjoy. Alright, let's go fight a dragon with a weapon that I can only use for 3 minutes. I haven't really been paying attention, but I wonder, is it always nighttime here? I mean, it would make sense. It's the realm of shadow, after all. And you know that hedgehog likes his nighttime. I rolled. Ooh, nice guard counter. Whoa. How did that guard not work? Okay, that one was my own fault. I dodged! Oh, crap. Well, my 3 minutes are up. Crap. Oh. You know, I was doing all right for a second there, but I should have broken out Torrent when he went for that. I want to give it another try with this weapon, though. Wait, why does he start off awake this time? I rolled that. moment. Whew. 120,000, not bad, and a Somber Ancient, also nice. And I'm guessing that unlocked a new power, though I didn't pay enough attention to see it. But I'm guessing there's a new power at that cathedral, or that Dragon Communion place we found last stream. Oh, I realized that there are things I could do for the stats. That said, I only have 10 faith. I'm testing it out, and I might decide to do some respecking. I probably don't need the full 80 strength stat that I've gotten to. I could probably get pretty similar damage numbers with 60. Which would free up 20 stats, or 20 points for other things if I wanted to, and I've got plenty of larval tears. Even if I didn't, it's not like the enemies that give them are that hard to kill with this level. But yeah, if I wanted to do it with a rune arc, I would need to activate Godric's Great Rune, which I think I've done. I think it's one of my options. I could be wrong, but even if it's not... No, I have a vague memory of running across a bridge and tanking golem great arrows with a great shield. I'll leave my physic as is. Switch to it for the boss of this place if I find them. Ooh, I remember shots of this place from the trailers too. I remember seeing the pots hanging up. Hello. Okay, bye. Maybe it was a different location though, because the lighting seems different from what I remember from the trailers. So there's those guys, but somehow... Okay, well that moment is memorialized. Yeah, be wary of right. I was kind of thinking that would be the case. I should really read the description on Silverhorn Tender, because I've gotten like 1 billion of those, and I have no idea what they're for, or what they do. Hello there. Yeah, I think it was a different shot. Like, I definitely remember seeing pots hanging up. Yeah, I don't have the right. But I definitely don't remember this lighting. Anyway. I could pretty easily go and respec with Renala. Interesting. Yeah, most of these guys seem pretty chill. Oh. Never mind. Apparently they really didn't want me taking that broken rune. Thawfrost boluses. I feel like they've really gone out of their way to put these people with mushrooms, these ghosts with mushrooms around them all over the place. Not to jar anything but that. I swear, living saint I'll surely be. Please, you must forgive me. Forgive me, please. Left or right. I wonder if the way down... Yeah, I'm guessing the way down is hopping along those jars. Yeah, likely jumping. The first hit I've taken in this dungeon. Monstrosity. Left. Oh my, it's going to be a new kind of pot. I have no idea what that is because, well, it was glitching out as it died. Shadow Realm Rune. Yay. Yeah, seek down. Huh. Oh, man. If I wanted to get onto that shelf, I had to be on that pot. I'm too far now. Hey, pot friends. I'm gonna kill him. In case that wasn't obvious. Dang it. Oh, I should have looked before going further down. Oh well, there's one of those things from inside the jar. Also, this doesn't seem to be marked with the sign of the Erd tree the way the ones in the Lands Between are. And the innards are very juicy, yet innard meat. Hey, don't judge. How do you think you would look if you had been living inside of a pot for who knows how long? Oh, hello. What pot did they come from? Crab ahead. Oh no. Oh. Okay, that's less worrying. What the heck? Also, why did that thing recover from my... Whoa! Is that a brain or some other organ? I believe it's just flesh. Don't ask details, okay? Thank you for the hydrate, Lastborn. And a welcome to the stream. wheelie. Now that was just rude. And also architecturally not very sound. Gotta be honest, the haunting atmosphere in this area is very effective. Just checking. Ah, there we are. Can't do it. I can't go after those little guys. They're just vibing. I don't know if they can all explode or just some of them. Oh my gosh, this place really is a maze, though. Like, it's so hard not to get lost. Going back through that door that I saw, because I don't think that's the way to the end, to be honest. Now you are... No, little pot friends, I didn't want you to get involved. Oh, I know I have throwing knives in here somewhere. There we go. Jeez, those things are creepy. Let it never be said that From didn't know how to make creepy enemies. Credit where it's due. I don't think that's the way, weirdly enough. Like, it hypothetically could be... Okay, that is the way to the boss door. Gotcha. Oh, nice. Alright, hang on. Ah, there you are. Nothing seems to flinch the big ones. Ooh, a hefty cracked paw. That is definitely worth. Oh. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely no way that I could have made it across there, even if I had jumped originally. One thing that I might be able to do is land on top of these pots. I didn't even mean to backstab that guy. Yeah, it's the other side that you can climb on top of there. Hang on. I'm guessing there's a way around, but... Nope. Okay. Great. Now I gotta remember everything that I was wearing. Gelmir Knight, Spellblade gloves, and Bloodhound Greaves. Where are Bloodhound Greaves? Raging Bloodhound. There we go. No, that can't be it. There's nowhere to go from there. The only thing I can think is that there's another path up, off to the right here. Oh. Okay, but how am I supposed to get up to that one spot? Oh, just barely. Jeez, that was a tight jump. And I'm guessing this one's similar. Not sure which side to go from, but I guess that worked. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, anyway. I believe that's everything over here. So I didn't see any other items sitting up top there. Which means now we go back through here. There we go. Oh, thank goodness, a Stake of America. Alright, let's go back to the weapon that we're testing out. We'll need to drink a physic, but... Oh, try fire? Thank you. That's very nice to know, considering that was actually what we were going to do. Demi-human Swordmaster Onze. Demi-human Swordmaster Yosh. Oh, wrong thing. No wonder I wasn't seeing what I wanted to switch to. Try left, try right. Oh, everything in here just hits so frickin' hard. Yeah, I figured. Okay, but why was a random demi-human swordmaster at the end of that? And why did he pack a skill that reminded me of waterfowl? Anyway. I'll start dropping some into Faith, because why not? If I wind up hitting the 20 faith needed to wield this thing, then that'll give me a chance to try it out, and if I don't, well, I can always respec. Truthfully, I'm leaning towards using this thing. I mean, it is very satisfying to bonk with bonk your foes with a massive anvil. Huh. Okay, so that's not how we get up here. To me, that says that the only way up there is going to be through a way gate, because I already looked along this edge. Everything beyond that is lower. I don't think I can get down here. While I'm thinking about it, where's that painting that I found? the tower. Hang on. I'm a little too close to get a good look at that tower. Yeah, it's definitely an angle on that city. Probably from somewhere over here. Or maybe up here. That seems possible. You know, I haven't gone over this way either. In case it wasn't obvious, part of the reason that I'm wandering around so much is that I'm trying to find more Skadu tree fragments. Because I would just like very much to take less insane levels of damage from bosses. Hello. Jeez, these guys do a lot of damage. Alright, we're gonna swap weapons real quick, because I would kind of like to not need to use my physic for this next moment. Jeez, that was a lot of pots, though. I recognize these statues, but I can't light them the way that I did back in Lands Between. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that they are pointing towards something. I have maxed out my kukris in storage. Maybe I should have been using kukris in that other place instead of throwing knives. Oh, hi guys. Bye guys. Ooh, Shadow Militiaman. Like, the sense that I've been getting from this DLC is that, yes, Mesmer conquered these lands and did so very brutally, but there does seem to be some sort of resistance, some holdouts from the old set and whatnot. It's interesting. Thank you for the hydrate, Lastborn. New kind of imp. Interesting. Ah, that's what they meant by trap ahead. I love letting the trap do my work for me. Okay, so it definitely comes all the way to this wall. Which means I kind of just have to wait for it to go up. You know, I think for this dungeon, Watchdog staff is gonna do better. Sniper ahead. Also, I feel like the enemy AI is breaking frequently. Okay, so it's just a little dead end. Something for you to stand in while the imps rush you and slaughter you. Gotcha. Projectile weapon, but try luring out. I saw it for just a sec. Oh. Oh my. And here I thought he was throwing those. That's such a cool imp. Dang, why don't we get those in the lands between? Obviously I would hate them if we did, but... Ooh, Ancient Dragon Knight's Cookbook. I'm going to give this guy an applause because the second Be Wary of Left was very important. What am I throwing? Basically throwing knives. They're called kukris. They do a little bit of bleed buildup. I rolled! Jeez. This dungeon is really killing my... supply of flasks. Which way did I? Not that way. That is the way forward. Ah, revenge. Nice. Loop ahead, you say? You know, that's kind of a specialty of that particular Ash of War. Uh-huh. Yep, I thought so. Wait, so is this another place without a boss? What the crap? Wait, oh, this is a different place than I thought. That's sneaky. I do genuinely like the... Let's see, I believe we're in... Yeah. I like the designs of most of the catacombs in Elden Ring, to be honest. The puzzles are pretty clever. A lot of them are like brain teasers, where they have paths that, like, look the same and are meant to trick you by appearing the same. Black Knight Commander Andreas. Okay, Jakar. But is that where I need to go? It seems like it is. I'm not seeing another path forward. And I already used the shackles, so any illusory walls should be unillusoried. Oh. So is there not a boss in here? I'm like genuinely confused. Okay, that's a room that I haven't been through. And this is a room that I have. So, do I need to get through under there? I think I might need to get under this. Oh, I figured that had to be the case. It had to be. I figured there had to be a safe spot right behind it because there was no way there was enough room to get there was enough time to get across. Later, Steve. Oh my gosh, this is... The catacombs are stressful. Oh, hey, it's a ladder. So, like, I could maybe get across there, but somehow I have a feeling this ladder is the actual solution that I'm looking for. Oh, I've only got 6 flasks left. Okay, never mind, because that just led back to above a room that I have already cleared. I have to make the run across this room. Hooray. And I'm pretty sure if it catches me, I do just die. Okay. We've made it in deeper. Kinda surprised there isn't a Stake of America here. Oh, there it is. Ooh, forked tongue hatchet. That is a weird frickin' spell. So it goes through and then shoots back at you? There's a part of me that feels like it would be a good idea to just intentionally die real quick while I'm close to the Stake of America. Okay, hang on. We are actually just gonna let this guy kill me. Because I want my flasks back. And we're within easy reach from the stake of America. So they're bouncing. That is such a weird spell. Okay, I'm actually gonna pull this lever and bring that down, because otherwise I just know that at some point I'm going to accidentally Huh. So I think the trick of the thing is going to be figuring out where to hide on the approach. And I think the left side... Ah, so that's what was meant by be wary of decoy, try rushing in. That second slot was a decoy. To drop me down into this pit. So there is a ladder over there, which is obviously the way out. Be wary of old codger. Yeah, I see him. Why couldn't I see that guy, though? Oh, give it a sec. I have gone blurry. Just realized I never put on my lantern. Or maybe I did when I first entered the dungeon, but then I died to get my flasks back. Oh, I think I know where this is. Ah, that's where this is. Nah, I won't die to get my flasks back again. That's the spell. Nope. I was expecting that to be the spell they were using. Oh, that's what they're talking about with cave. Ash of War Blink Bolt. Stone Sheathed Sword. Oh, I got a chance. Let's show some Desk Duck. Like I said last time, I managed to delete my overlay and I haven't remade it, so I can't actually switch to my waiting screen, but here he is with me, the sparkly little quacker. Honestly, these guys kind of just chill. And I try and keep a fairly minimal approach with my decorations, so there's not much. The fact that I have these guys on my desk, or in the case of Desk Duck, Mew and Turg on the windowsill near my desk, is a bit of an oddity. I don't really have many decorations in my place. That was annoying. Oh my. This place just keeps going and... Oh, wait, there's an exit right there. Well, if nothing else, I know that there can't be an ambush in the room. Because... there's no room for any imps or anything. Just a massive crashing ceiling. Time for boss. There's always a little shelf like this. Okay, if there had been a door with... that I needed to use a lever somewhere back there in the dungeon to access, I would have absolutely flipped. Death Knight. Dang. I was just trying to get some space to heal, but clearly getting space is not allowed here. Also, I did see that there was another Stake of America right outside this place. Otherwise, I would have been a lot more worried about dying right there. Oh, I should have known there was a grab coming. Also, Godwin, this is the first confirmed sign I've seen that Godwin has a direct presence in the realm of shadow. I tried to dodge. Oh, I'm alive. I'm not anymore. Jeez. Why was I suddenly moving so slow? Oh. I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to have for fully charged attacks, so we're going to go ahead and swap that one out for this, actually, because I think it's a good idea. Finish it with the riposte. That was definitely a good fight to have Ooh, Death Knight's twin axes. Why? Wait, they're twin axes, right? So, like, even though it said ×1, I'm getting both. I'm actually going to swap those because I feel like it'll be easier to just go straight down from the Axe Talisman than having to navigate side to side. That was startling. For a second there, I thought that skeletons were spawning or something. Alright. I do like this weapon, though. It does have the bonk energy that I've been going for. I can acknowledge that. Sorry, I'm just going back down in there because I want to level up first. So, that's the direction of the map. I don't know if we can actually get there from here. Ooh. Bestial growl from the militiamen. Okay, so it doesn't look like we can get there from over here. It's kind of a dead end. Which makes me think that, yes, we do in fact have to beat that one lady in order to progress into more of these lands. Nah, don't tell me. If I want to know, I can always Google it, but I'm going to check one more thing. I don't think there's a way down over here, but I could be wrong, so might as well check. Come to think of it, I don't think I've actually visited this building. Fly mold. I imagine in some challenge run 4 years down the line, I'll be desperate to find that for something. Well, we got a cookbook. What's for dinner then? I don't know, let's see. Key items, Greater Potentate's Cookbook, 10, a hefty fly pot. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way down these cliffs. Do you want... I guess lunch is dinner. We'll go by the South rules. Lunch. I had a dish called unstuffed cabbage rolls. It's got cabbage and beef and rice. It's very tasty. I have made it myself, though this time I just robbed my mom. Yeah, okay. Oh, you know what? There is one more location that... Just jump. No thanks. There is one more location that I know I can access now that I haven't visited yet. Oh, no, not that. Alright, back into the creepy city. I found the key for this place yesterday, but never got around to using it. Black fireflies. Well depths. Oh, yay. You know what's crazy? This is the first poison swamp I've run across in the DLC, and I know it's not going to be the last. Okay, so that puts me out in this area. You guys weren't really expecting to win that fight, were you? Oh, for a second there I saw a scene that was vaguely sparkly and I thought it was the line attached to a site of grace. Well, I can't fly through it, so my alternatives are pretty limited. Now, in all honesty, I'm pretty sure that having 60 vigor, or 50 vigor or whatever, is making it very difficult for the swamp to affect me. That tower, though, that's curious. So I believe vigor is one of the stats that determines your immunity stat. So as you can see, the poison is building up pretty slowly. Of course, if I happen to roll in it by accident or something, then it will just... I knew it. Okay, hang on. We're backing up, because I want to swap weapons, and I don't want to have that thing charge me while I do. This is a moment when we definitely want this guy. Yeah, I kind of had to roll there, because there was no chance that I was immunizing Horn Charm +2. Wait, is immunizing Horn Charm +1 even in the base game? Because I'm questioning whether I just skipped an upgrade that I was supposed... that I can find somewhere else in the DLC. It is in the base game? Okay. I had to check. Anyway, I'm gonna warp back to the Grace. Gotcha. I was questioning that, because I know that they introduced a bunch of new upgrade level... talismans at new upgrade levels, I should say. Okay, you know what? Biting the bullet. Oh, later on me. We will do our best with Relana. I can probably do it. I'm playing better today than I was last weekend. Oh, Renala, where are you at? I want the faith to use.
Is it Taiwan? Now.
Okay, we're still sticking with 50 vigor. And 60 endurance, because that's just where I like to be. And 20 intelligence. Then we'll go ahead and bump faith up to 20 before putting the rest back into strength. So we'll be cut down to 72. And Hugh, we're gonna have you go ahead and upgrade that anvil. That is a sword that no one can pull from its scabbard of cracked stone. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and max out the anvil hammer. I should probably go and try Rolana soon, because... I got like another 40 minutes left in the stream. Oh. Hang on, I forgot. I don't need that physic. I don't need the faith physic anymore now that I've met the stat prereqs for that one. Let's go back to Opaline tier. Dang. How did they survive that time? To be fair, we've beaten a few bosses. So we are making progress. It's just, I think Raylana might be a remembrance boss. Possibly. A little corner. Hey, it's a little bench. Kinda low to the ground, but, you know. Oh, why did I do that? I know I picked up the recipe for soap. Oh, where are you, soap? There you are. Warrior sword and a beast liver. Huh. I really thought there would be... Wait, I just realized. I was about to say, I really thought there would be more down here, but yeah, I haven't gone in that tower. I hope there's a stake. I hope there's a site of grace up that tower, because I am out of blue flasks. Alright, I think I've gotten all of the items down here. Thank you for the hydrate, Lastborn. I don't have the right. In case y'all haven't picked up on it, there's a bit of There are certain code phrases in Elden Ring. One of them, if there's like a locked door or a door that just is fake, you can't open it. Then... Really? All that did was bring me back here? Didn't even give me access to, like, that tower or something? What a ripoff. But yeah, if there's a door that doesn't actually open, or a door that is locked from one side, people will write, "You don't have the right." Oh, jeez, I'm like 300 off. Hang on. Alright, let's go and do some... Let's go and fight Raylana for a bit. And see if we can beat her this time around. Now, not only... Well, I was gonna say we could do it with a new item, but I actually want to compare something real quick. Oh, that's so cool. I have so many I have 2 Mesmer Soldier axes. Horned Warrior Sword. Blind Spot. Anyway. Oh, and the long-haft axe. I remember finding that one. That one's cool. I still can't technically use that hammer because it requires dex. I now have the stats for the Beast Claw Great Hammer, so that's exciting. So, hang on a sec. This is going to put me at heavyweight for a minute, but... Alright, let's see. Both of these are split damage. $709 on physical versus $789 on physical for the Ruins Greatsword, and 90 plus 13 for magic versus 208 plus 31. They should wind up doing pretty similar levels of damage, which is good. Well, that takes 52 int to use? Well, it was kind of a waste picking it up then. I thought it would help given I have... You know what? Rather than... Rather than trying out the strat that I was considering with Scholar's Armament to buff my shield, am just gonna go ahead and try with this setup. With a slightly different Ash of War, though. Still want magic affinity, and then I've equipped fire resist, and I'm running a different physic instead of the physic that I had before. For charged attacks, this one boosts all damage negation, so I should be much better at taking hits from this lady. Now, if my shield would actually... Now, if I would actually block her attacks instead of just kind of not, that would work just great. I feel like the game is lagging like crazy. Like, that's not the reason I died. I died because I was fighting stupid, but... the game really feels like it's lagging hard. I wonder if this thing has less poise damage than the Elden's Greatsword, though, because that could be a deciding factor. Okay, hang on a sec. We're going to do something that I probably should have already done in this fight. We're going to put away our weapon. Because I just need some sort of idea of what she's doing, other than just combos that last roughly a year. The trouble is, when she does spins to the sides, it gets around my guard. She's no Melania, but she is fast and aggressive and has long, annoying combos like Melania. Why is my calculator still on my keyboard? It just feels like my defense buffs are just doing nothing. I rolled. This isn't the best weapon to fight her with, but I need a clearer view of her, and the other ones are... I wasn't locked on. The riposts break lock on. I forgot to lock on. So I didn't track her at all. I hate that move. Part of the trouble here is that I would have more punish opportunities if I had if I was using faster weapons, but that's not what this build is about. One, two. It wasn't letting me dodge. I dodged like 4 times there and I didn't move. Can I please be permitted to actually perform actions, Miyazaki? Instead of just being endlessly stunned. Yeah, I realize I'm blurry, but I can't take the time to fix that right now. One, swear my fire resist talisman is doing literally nothing. Alright, one sec. We're gonna try a slightly different approach. Where's that staff? One, two. Okay, that would have worked had I not been repeatedly fumbling it right at the start. I can use my physic and cast my buff before I go in there. Honestly, with some of her shorter combos, I'm not certain what to do sometimes. One, two. Jeez, why did that take so long? I just got roll caught hard. Hush phone. Can I please have a second to heal? Dang it. I couldn't think of a way to get away from her safely to heal, so I was trying to just heal in between flurries, but... like, I'm getting it. It's just really frickin' annoying. just don't end. The combos just keep going forever. Like, what the crap? I forgot to swap staffs back. Ugh. I really kinda hate this boss. I was trying to punish that, but you can't. There's no punish for that. This is my personal issue with some bosses in Elden Ring, is that they have some moves that are just unpunishable, where they can do them, and you have to react right or you die, but there's no downside to them. They don't open them up for you to hit them back. Yeah, no. I don't feel like letting you get off a free flurry at the start of that. It's good to know I can get 2 fully charged R2s off during the phase transition if I'm already in close. This might be it. Well, this will be it, because even if she didn't die there, I was going to charge R2. Oh my gosh, that took forever. So it's sad that the time that actually worked out, I had half my flasks left. Alright, well, like last time, we are finishing off immediately after killing a Remembrance boss. Let's take a look at the Remembrance. Yeah, you know what? We'll round it off the same way we did last time. We'll go to the round table hold and take a look at the rewards for that remembrance. I'm kind of assuming that it's going to be her swords and that one spell that she did occasionally in Phase 2, where she flew up and created some moons that dropped down. Because, yeah, the last one was Remembrance of the Dancing Lion, which gave us access to... That thing pretty much only used talisman, or used spells, and I guess melee attacks with its head, but they didn't really have a way of doing that. It gave us an Ash of War and a talisman that we could redeem, neither of which we are because we don't have a use for them. And then Remembrance of Relana, the Twin Moon Knight, hewn into the Skadoo tree. The power of its namesake, blah blah blah. Once a Karian princess, Relana disavowed her birthright and chose to stand at Messmer's side, knowing full well that not even the brilliance of the moon would grant him succor. Before long, she became known as the Sword of Messmer. Then we got Relana's twin blades and Relana's twin moons. Okay, so she's Renala's younger sister. Karian light greatsword embedded with blue glintstone, weapon of Relana, the Twin Moon Knight. 2 swords as a single armament. When two-handing, a straight sword engraved with golden flame will be carried in the left hand. Here and here alone were moon and fire ever together. Except that doesn't make sense, because we had the Sword of Night and Flame. Moon and Fire stance. Incarnate overlapping twin moons, which strike the ground one after another, violently shaking the earth with moonlight. In her childhood, she and her elder sister Renala met these moons, overlapping as though they nestled one against another. 72 intelligence. Okay, so we've got Split Sword of Night and Flame and Twin Moons. I won't tell you all the meme that I saw about those moons. I'm kind of just collecting remembrances, because I'm not trading any of them in. The only one that I would even really consider for this build is Malekith's Black Blade. Maybe Axe of Godfrey. But that's just a bit too refined. Okay, actually, this one I wouldn't mind having just for slaughtering Albinaurics. And technically the Star Scourge Greatsword would be fitting, but again, I'm not investing in decks. That's kind of my rule for weeding out what I don't include. This is Renala, just as a reminder. So we got Relana and Renala. Alright, people. That is where we're gonna leave it. that took so long. Yeah, it was close to an hour of fighting her to get past. Admittedly, once I started playing intelligently, it wasn't that bad. But Skadu Altus. So this is definitely meant to be in parallel to the Altus Plateau. Ah well, we got a whole new area to explore, hopefully a bunch of new fragments of the Skadu tree. And, you know, hopefully at some point in this process we can get the damage needed for... Or we can get to where our health behaves the way that it did back... Our health and damage behave the way they did back in the Lands Between. Thank you for the hydrate, Lastborn. Oh, and we've got to show Umbreon for... Ah, jeez. I can't do that with my thumb in that position. We've got to show Umbreon. I don't know if there's really a good reason to put him on my shoulder, but here he is. Here's the little guy. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. No stream tomorrow. We got family stuff going on. I hope you enjoyed. Appreciate y'all. No, Lastborn, you're supposed to talk about the plushie, not me. I appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Later, folks. I had to get a free hand to tab out. Anyway, later, folks. Bye.